Welcome to the Tarryn Reeves Show, the podcast for elite entrepreneurs, visionary leaders, and high impact CEOs who are ready to grow their brand, amplify their message, and build a legacy. I'm your host, Tarryn Reeves, multiple international best-selling author, publishing strategist, and founder of Automatic Authority Publishing and Press House. Each week, we dive into powerful conversations with trailblazing entrepreneurs and changemakers who are using storytelling to scale their business and impact. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and get ready for a dose of inspiration, strategy, and the truth behind what it really takes to turn your wisdom into wealth. Today on the show, we have Priscila, also known as Cosentino, who is a senior E.A.S.E Advisor and wealth mentor who takes a refreshing human approach to financial planning. With over a decade of experience across Brazil and the US, she helps clients simplify complex decisions, align their money with their values, and create strategies that lead to freedom and peace of mind. Combining her MBA in Neuroscience and Human Behaviour with the proven E.A.S.E methodology, empowers people to not just build wealth, but to truly enjoy the life they've worked hard for. That's something that we all want. Welcome to the show, Pri.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here, Tarryn.
It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Now, everyone listening or watching, before we dive in, we are talking finances. We may be talking about methodologies and investment strategies, that sort of a thing. But please consider that we are just having a conversation and that it's best to seek your own individual advice before going ahead with doing anything. Right. Pri, I'd love to start with your story because I know that it's a super interesting one. What led you into the world of financial planning and eventually into this E.A.S.E methodology?
I think the best way to tell you that is starting with the truth what happened.
We always want
Young age, and I lost $50,000. Maybe you might be thinking, oh, that's not too much. That's why I start with your young age, right?
Yeah.
$50,000 when you were in your 20s. It's everything that I was able to get together and some. I don't know if you remember that time when you used to every single cent that you're just starting your career, trying to accumulate money, you want to enjoy. And I lost everything because I thought that I knew it all. And I had the wrong people surround me.
Mm. Mm. Look, 50 grand in your 20s is quite a punch to the stomach. What happened? What was the journey?
So the journey was, I understood that I wanted to save because I had in my mind that I want to go ahead and retire early.
Mhm.
And some of you guys are listening here, you might have this desire. And that's a great idea. When as early as you start, as better it will be. But I was young enough that I thought that I knew everything, that I didn't need the right people surrounding me, that I would be able to have the right choices. So I choose the one person that I said, no, they're going to do something incredible for me. Do you know when it's almost like magic, they were promising something that's too much than the average of the market?
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of happened. I put that amount of money in my investment, choose the wrong person. I didn't vet them. I didn't check if they really were the right person to be helping me. Didn't check if it wasn't correct advisor. And all the money was put in. I didn't see a penny. Even years and years later, trying to just grab back what I paid in, not even talking about the benefits or anything. I was just trying to get my premium back, the cash that I put in, and it was like, nope, there is nothing. There's so many charges, so many there's fees, costs that I couldn't save one single penny of what I put it in. And for me, that put me in a position that I was, okay, no, that's not right. I need to understand more about finances. I need to understand more how all of this work. And that's when I start going for business administration and understanding about finances, understanding about the importance of having the right people by my side.
Yeah, that must have felt absolutely horrible in your 20s. How did you recover?
I start looking for and restarting. So I had to do something hard, that was stop blaming myself and start
Mm,
moving forward and making the new right decisions. So finding the right people to be by my side, understanding the right knowledge about it, understanding what really I wanted as a goal. Because a ton of times, and that was a little bit of it, I was looking so forward to have a goal of retiring early that I stopped to think if that was doable in the time frame that I was looking for.
mm,
So I was trying to make those type of like retire before you're 25. Is that possible? Not saying no, I'm just saying not with $50,000 if I want to live the life that I wanted.
mm-hmm, mm,
My goal was to have a life where I had money enough for a helicopter.
yeah.
$50,000 wouldn't do it.
Yes. Yeah. It's
So
it's
go ahead.
it's all shiny, optimism when we're in our younger years, and we don't really stop to think, oh, is this doable? How am I going to get there and put a plan in place? It's like, and especially with marketing and a taboo topic, I guess, still, such as finances, money, investing. It's really, really confusing if you don't know what you're doing. I'm not, numbers are not my first forte. I own a publishing company. I'm a words girl. And so if people start talking to me about numbers, my eyes glaze over and I'm just like, I know I need to know this stuff. But I kind of just tune out. I don't know why. And many entrepreneurs, high achievers, shy away from financial planning because it does feel overwhelming. There's so much information on the internet, and there's a lot of tech bros and finance bros out there talking all this financial jargon. Why do you think that financial education is so missing, even for successful people?
What you just said, Taryn, is that they try to do is fencing themselves up, saying, I have all this knowledge of all this background. And that's one of the things that we get, is that or we understand those jargons and are able to accommodate that, or we, because it's so complicated, and we think about numbers, we think about a complicated math and Excel and a spreadsheet and all those complications and formulas that you say, I don't want to deal with that. But if we can get that in a simple word, how to truly become someone that can educate you with words that we understand in the day to day, it's easy to do. Like you mentioned, you work with words. In the beginning, if I would think about words and like book or anything like that, I would just freak out about just the idea of having to put words side by side.
Yep.
It's simple like that. It's like, oh, can you write a book? I'm like, no, that's something impossible. It's not. And I know that you work with that, and it's proof that how many people that had so many challenges thinking about writing a book, they are capable to do it.
Mm-hmm.
The challenge that we make that financial industry super fancy and complicated and doesn't need to be. We need to understand the basics. We need to understand
Mm-hmm.
how it works and have the right specialist. So if I want to write a book, I need to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to, or if I want to go to do change my hair, I need to go to my hairstylist. They would know what I can and cannot do. And with finances is the same. I tell more about this. You were mentioning about the book. I'm part of a movement that has a book involved, and I tell a little bit about my story in that. That's Business in Heels. And when we were talking about when I was writing that, for me it was hard because I was used to put numbers in.
Mm.
But when I started understanding and explaining the exact same way that I would explain finances for someone, I was like, okay, that's doable. I can manage that. I can take control. I don't need to try to figure all out. I didn't need to do all the work that you do. And if you tell me about publishing, I know that you can layer like 20 good steps. That's the right way of doing. And I don't need to be that pro, but I need to understand enough so I can know that you are the right person to be by my side
Mm-hmm.
when I'm writing my solo book. The same with finances. We don't need to understand everything. We need to have a good understanding so we can find the right people, and
Mm-hmm.
finding the people that can help us understand, are they really looking to help me and educate me, or they are just trying to say, buy this glass of water because this glass of water is better than this one. What's the difference?
Mm,
None.
definitely. Definitely. So, how do we go about being more discerning about who we are working with, whether we're hiring a bookkeeper, a financial advisor, an investment planner, a property investor? Tell us how we can be more discerning. What should we be looking for?
I think it starts understanding who they are, right? And principles and values. Are they having principles and values that match with you?
Mm,
A ton of times when we are looking for people, how would make friends, right? What are the right principles and values that matches that I have to have? That other person, if I want them to help me in my life, they need to respect those, or
mm,
they need to be at least neutral and understand those principles and values. Are they looking for, in especially for those categories that you mentioned, an accountant, a financial advisor, a bookkeeper, are they looking for their own benefits, or are they looking for your goals, your uh, what you're looking for your benefits? Because that's a big difference when we
yeah.
are looking about that. Are they really looking to your, if it's an accountant, are they looking for your business and saying, hey, those are the important pieces, where do you want to get your business at, what we
Mm,
need to work with your taxes? If you're talking about investments, even real estate, if you're thinking about buying a house, is that agent looking to find your right house or the best house that they can be offering you? I don't know if I was
mm.
clear.
Yeah, so it's really about finding the person whose value aligns to yours and understanding, are they actually here to serve me or are they here to sell me? Because there's a difference.
Huge difference,
Mm.
exactly.
Yeah. What else should we be looking for? Because that's just, I feel like, one small aspect. Testimonials, portfolio.
In understanding, I think one important thing, there's no magic,
Mm,
right? So don't, uh, there is an average in the industry. Yes, there are some people that can come above average, but that those are the outliners. In general, don't do like I did. Don't try to think that with a tiny amount of money you can do it in a short period of time 100 times more. What's the average?
mm,
Those numbers are there for us to give a guidance. They can, like, if they are offering you that they are going to do 15, 20 times the amount that you're investing, that should be a red flag. Pri, are you saying that those doesn't exist? No, but they normally are a red flag that you need to be looking a little bit deeper to see if they have the knowledge enough to offer something like that.
mhm,
Because it's trying to make something, it's compared to our day to day, is basically you're mentioning to them, oh, you can write a book in 2 hours. I'm pretty sure, in general, most people would not be able to write 300 pages, 250 pages in 2 hours
no.
by themselves. No, there's like, I'm pretty sure you have all the numbers. I don't even need to go that direction. That it's like, you need to have, there's a time frame that you need to do it. Can a person write a book alone with 400, 500 pages? Yes, but then the time frame needs to be different.
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. Okay, so we already mentioned that money is still quite a taboo topic for most people. People tend to be a bit uncomfortable around money. And I think this comes a lot from our societal conditioning and the fact that a lot of people have been burned. Like, I've lost so much money in crypto when it first came out because I just didn't know and I trusted the wrong person. And I was just like, and it felt too good to be true. And it was.
Mhm.
usually the way it is. You have an MBA in neuroscience and human behavior, which I find absolutely fascinating. I have a degree in criminology. So a lot of human behavior and psychology in that as well. How does understanding the psychology behind money change the way that we make financial decisions?
Great question. And Taryn, when we are talking about that, I think what is going to, you can see that in the same way is that when we are talking about money, we, even though we might calculate rationally to have the numbers, the decisions are emotionally.
Mm.
So we will just justify them so the numbers can fit in the math. But our emotions are the ones that are taking control.
Mhm.
If I decided to buy this cup, will I buy it or not? Is not only about based on the price. It's more about which emotions me buying this cup would make sense. Talking about a cup, but I'm talking about a car. I'm talking about a house, how much money I spend per month, how much money I save. It's so crazy that, for example, if a person that doesn't feel that they deserve have a smaller tendency to save money for the future
Mm.
because of how all their behaviors connect can put them in a scenario. How can we do that? There are ways and tools that can help us in financial products that can help us mitigate that until the person is working towards their own belief system. That's why for me neuroscience connects 100% with finances.
Mm. So if someone does have, I don't know, let's get into a little bit of psychology here, belief of lack or an underlying, scarcity mindset. Maybe they've been conditioned or have a trauma response to not deserving, so they don't save money and they
Mhm.
just spend it as soon as they come in. How can someone work to identify those? Because a lot of the time it's subconscious, and B, work to address those so it stops happening and they're not caught in the loop.
Those are really interesting ways. So a few ways that we can see that, how to assess that, is seeing how they deal with their day to day.
Mhm.
When they have those type of behaviors of not feeling themselves or not trusting themselves in seeing the whole power of who they are, they have a tendency of not having any savings accounts.
Mhm.
They have the tendency to, even if there is money in their account, even they make, for example, $10,000, they would make a way to spend it,
Mm.
not necessarily with them. They can donate, they can help family members. Doesn't mean that they even see the possibility with them. Sometimes some of them will spend with themselves. So if you are lacking savings, because some savings are important, as enjoying life right now is important, there needs to be a balance, right? And there's a specific balance that really helps with all of that. When we can see those and see that the person doesn't cannot put together, if you say how much, save $100 and see how you react to that. Are you going to be in the end of the month with still that $100, or something came up or someone came up and took that away? And that's okay. There's some strategies that you can make it. In general, a person that's like that have the tendency to pay their bills on time. That's not connected to paying bills. So you can make
Mhm.
savings a payment of a bill.
Mm.
So they would trick themselves that they are paying a bill. It's not really tricking, but because they are aware of that. But they, until they can get rid of that behavior, they can start putting money aside in a bill format in a way that they cannot see that they are saving that money with easy access.
Mhm.
That can be a different type of financial products, all the way to have a separate bank account in another bank that's not easy to connect to your day-to-day cell phone. So you keep it a login that's far away and you make automatic withdrawals, setting up for like $20. That can be helpful for the person because they are not seeing that coming out, that they are physically saving and just automatically doing, and they are seen as a bill. They are checking that and paying that bill every single month. And that's
Mm.
a really good tool that can help in those sense. And a little bit more, if you want a little bit more and better investments, there's other financial tools that exist, and there's a variety of them. For each case, there's a better one depending on their goals.
Yeah. And most people fall into traps around wealth involving their mindset. Mindset and money are so closely linked. What are some of the biggest traps that you see people falling into around
I
wealth?
think the biggest one is what you mentioned, is everything that they heard when they were kids. I'm pretty sure that you heard about money doesn't grow on trees. It's the biggest one of them. A tree can give you
Hmm.
fruits. You have the wood from them. You can have a better environment. So I can see, at least really quick here in our conversation, three great benefits that can become money.
Yes.
So we bring all of those, or who has too much money cannot be a good person, because if you have too much money, you are not a good person. You don't have the heart of donation. So those realities can be super hard in a person. And when that happens, what we can do is start working with their mentality and mindset. All of us came here to have wealth. We have the possibilities for that. But because of our lives and everything that happened since teenagers, that can restrict us. So what we can do is start understanding and seeing the scenario and seeing if you need it, seek for help, or understand what you want and where do you want to go in relation to your finances. All the possibilities, it are achievable. You can achieve everything that you wanted. You just need to really put the direction to that, and you will start making good decisions. What lacks for us a lot when we are talking about wealth in our financial goals is that we don't really know where we want to be. We just
Mm,
know that we want to have some money saved, but how much? When? With how many years? We want to have some money for retirement because we heard the whole life that's important. And but how much is that? What's the lifestyle that you're looking for? And I see with a ton of my clients, when I ask those questions, they go to me and say, I don't know, Pri, I don't really have the idea. Maybe I want the same amount that I'm spending right now. It's like, okay, maybe that amount. And then have you thought about, do you want to travel? Do you want to buy a new car? Do you want to visit your family? Do you want to give gifts? And they're like, oh, all of this I have to count, right? It's like, yes. As when we are working, we might not have enough time to travel as much we wanted. Or maybe we do. Maybe you say, no, I want to just relax and lay, lay back and enjoy the time. So those are types of conversations that can help us direct us to wealth.
mm. So we need to get super specific and set goals.
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
best way for us to really accomplish wealth, is to have goals and have numbers. Be
Hmm.
specific as much as you can. When they talk about SMART goals, and I know that that's a concept that we have heard about it, it's not a joke, because we
Yeah.
only can accomplish something when
Yeah.
we do it.
Absolutely. So let's talk about another acronym other than SMART. It's the EASE methodology that I know that helps break down and simplify your financial choices. Can you break it down for us? What does it stand for? How do we use it?
Okay, so easy start with E of education. So
Hmm.
we need to start with our foundations. So that's the first thing that when we are talking is explaining about finances, removing the jargons, and
Hmm.
understand simply what that means and how that applies to your life. How, if you want to build your financial house, how can I do that? So it's to educate you through this process, so you understand everything that's going on with your finances, so you can build brick by brick like you build your house. Then we go for um, A of analyze. When we need to analyze your life, understand what's important to you. So we go back to the question, what matters to you? What goals do you want to accomplish? What's important for you? Is family or friends? Is time with your loved ones? is doing a specific trip to Europe, is buying a car. Those things needs to be accounted for. So then we can go to the S that's create the right strategy. So we can go to the last E. That's the best part for me. That's to enjoy. Enjoy
Mm.
life right now and be able to enjoy your life all the way to the end.
Yep. I love that last step. So it's the steps are educate, analyze, strategy, and enjoy.
Yes.
And why is enjoyment such a critical part of financial planning? And how do you guide clients to get there?
I think it's the most important part because finances doesn't need to be you counting pennies when you are retiring. You don't need to be choosing between, oh, I can only go out if I go out in a happy hour menu and things like
Mm,
that. So for me, enjoying is being able to enjoy the moment and enjoy your future in the exact same level. I don't know about you, but I like a lot when I can enjoy my life, when I can have a great time with friends, when like we are having here. I like to have those moments. And
mm,
finances needs to lead for the same thing. And how we can help clients to find that is when we go through the whole process. And the clients normally come and say, thanks, because I can feel that. I can see that you're helping me go to that direction. I feel the security that I know what each part of my money is doing for me and what I can do and what I cannot.
mm.
I can go to a trip. It's I know that. I can see that's possible. I can go and do the Michelin star restaurant if I want to.
Yep, there's nothing I like more than a good fancy restaurant with delicious food. It's so
And that's
nice
what
to be able to enjoy. Yeah, you've got to enjoy, you've got to have fun. Otherwise, what's the point? But you also have to be smart about where you're at. So,
mhm.
for someone listening or watching us right now who feels behind in their finances, embarrassed about their finances, what's one first step that they can take to kind of shift that mindset, shift their trajectory, and get back on track towards their goal?
I know that most people are going to hate me for this tip, but write it down. I know that is annoying. You need to know how many subscriptions you're paying. You need to know how your money is going out and how many times you have money coming in. You cannot make changes if you're not aware of your current scenario.
Mm-hmm.
So the first step is creating a list, spend the time, book a meeting with yourself and set the time to write it down your expenses. Have the family together, bring up the kids too. It's
Mm,
important for even them because that's going to be one of the biggest gifts that you can give to them as start educating them as young as possible. Say so they don't need to be passing through the same mistakes that we did. First step, write it down. And second step is creating a relationship with money.
mm.
I'm going to explain what that means, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's super easy for us to pay with our phone and
Mm,
credit cards, and we lost the understanding about how much money really is worth. So, have money currency in your wallet. Use that money. Understand that you have money in your wallet, that if you need, sometimes ahead and if the place accepts, go ahead and pay with currency. So you understand if you're giving 100, how much that came back. So we start
mhm.
understanding again that value because it's super easy nowadays. Anything you just tap.
Yeah.
And that's great. I love the technology. Don't get me wrong. I love the fact that I can tap with anything and in 30 seconds is paid. But because of the tapping, we lose the understanding how much that really was worth, how
Mm,
much that amount of money reduced my bank account. So using the exercise of getting back currency in your wallet and paying again, especially if you have kids, because they even didn't use that. I at least remember giving some money and getting some candies back, so I knew it how many was in return. But they didn't even know that. So
mhm.
it's really important for us to go back to that understanding. $100 give me how much back? 100 euros give how much back? Those points are going to be super important for your life and it's going to be changing it's going to be great 2 steps for you to start changing completely your financial life.
So I'd love to hear a real life story about somebody that you've worked with who's applied the E.A.S.E methodology and experienced a real transformation, not just financially, but how they live their life, because the two are really intertwined.
Yes, of course. I won't be able to have full names here, but I will share as much as possible. Uh, but there is a couple that I'm going to call Mr. and Mrs. K. Actually, was just a couple days ago with them, and when we start the E.A.S.E planning with them, they had an idea. They understood a little bit, had some help in a few things, not in everything, and was looking like a Frankenstein. So I got some help here, someone else sold something there, but no one came together and put all the plan to see if they were able to truly be enjoying life day to day.
Mm-hmm.
We simplified that. We start with education and went back to what they have and start understanding their products. Even in one of those phone calls, um, we just had a great conversation was, thank you. I don't feel free that I had someone explain to me exactly everything that means. I don't even think the person that sold me this product even knew it. All those points. So they were able to understand what they had. Then we start creating where they wanted to go. They wanted to retire in a couple years, and the goal was 5 years. We start saying, okay, if you want 5 years, how is that going to look like? So we
Mm-hmm.
were able to set up the goals, set up the income they are planning. We were able to see how much they wanted for trips. They have a few trips scheduled. They wanted to be with kids. They have the idea that they want to leave money behind. So we map it out everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start putting in practice all of that. Now time has passed and they are accomplishing that. That was like we were just few um, days ago together, and they just mentioned that they have been playing. They are retired. They are playing pickleball. Mr. K has been playing pickleball almost every day. Um, Mrs. K says like, I cannot play as much. I can do a couple hours a week, but that's it. But that's the best part because they are truly being able to enjoy what we start designing,
Yeah,
and they understand all the pieces that they have.
beautiful. There's a lot of freedom in that. And a lot of entrepreneurs listen to this podcast. What if you could reframe one belief about money specifically for every entrepreneur listening right now? What would it be?
There is no limits for you in accomplish and conquering the amount of revenue that you're looking for. You can have everything that you wanted. Set that as your goal. Make it a goal that you see every single day. Have the goal for the year, break it down for the goal of the quarter, but break it down for the goal of the month and to the day.
Mm.
You can, as an entrepreneur, be able to accomplish that. And as an entrepreneur, you can have money for yourself as well. You deserve it. Think one tip that I want to
Mm.
leave for them is don't forget to pay yourself. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we kind of start thinking so much about the business. And if we have employees and if we have our team, we want to be sure that everyone is taken care of. But you deserve to because you have been working every single day. Might be
Mm.
a smaller salary. That's not how much work, but don't forget to give you that
Yeah.
because you need to see the recognition of your work every single day.
Mm. And what does wealth mean to you personally, Pri?
That's a great question. Wealth for me means much more than money. Means me being able to enjoy time with my family and my girls. I have 4 dogs, um, and travel to visit my family and being able to go and try great restaurants. I agree with you. There's nothing better, Tarryn, that a great meal. So I am someone that enjoy that, and that for me is wealth. For me to be able to accomplish these things, I do need a tool that's money.
Mm-hmm.
So wealth is part of being able to have all of that and create a legacy. And then money is a tool that can help me get there.
Beautiful. Now, Pri, I know that you have written in a co-authored book called Business in Heels. I know that you have a solo book in your ideas realm, and we have a tradition on the podcast called the book drop. We also want to know what book has impacted you either personally or professionally.
The book that has impacted me the most, and for both actually, is the book Humility from Andrew Murray.
I haven't read that one. Tell us more.
It's an old book. It's not super, not new, but this book talks a lot about the understanding what true humility means. And it's not nothing about being without being humble means not having money or not enjoying your life, means about your actions. And that book is a book that I keep it with me. I read at least once a year because it's something that I truly want to keep myself in the right direction, putting my heart in the right direction between being humble and being prideful and doing what's right.
Mm, beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing and for kind of breaking down finances in a way that's so human and so beautiful and actually inspiring. Thank you so much.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to understand a little bit more about what you guys have to say and all those tips and how that has already changed your life as well.
Absolutely. Join the conversation in the comments, whether you're on socials or YouTube, wherever you're getting this, feel free to jump into the conversation. Let's open it up and break it down because money is something that is still not talked about enough, but affects us all. And for those of you who want to go and find Pri and maybe talk to her more about the E.A.S.E methodology, you can find all of her information in the show notes. Thank you so much, Pri.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tarryn Reeves Show. If today's episode lit a fire in you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a story that could transform your business. If you're ready to write the book that positions you as the go-to authority in your industry, visit automaticauthority.com to find out how we can help you make it happen. Until next time, keep owning your story, leading with impact, and building a legacy.